Look, so since we got the ladies here tonight, man, we doing something special tonight. So we gonna have the ladies join in. Everybody's got that significant other. I mean, it's one major omission, but we're not gonna hold it against them, you know.
Yes, we are.
Whether it be his chin strap or his lady, man, you know what I'm.
John likes his women like he likes his facial hair. Absent.
I've got no defense for this.
This nigga turn his camera off.
So John, you was telling us like what was going on in the Seal household this weekend, bro? What transpired?
Little playoff football. You know, normal stuff. Nothing. Get to what we want to hear. What happened with this chin strap, and why is your lady dodging us, G? Because she's been avoiding you all weekend. Look, all right. So I went to go trim it down a little bit, right? Because it got caught on the zipper, and that kind of hurt, right? I got whiskers.
That's cap.
That's not cap. All right. It got caught on the zipper.
Right. He ain't got near facial hair.
It got caught in the zipper a little bit, right? So then I was like, I was gonna just trim it down a little bit, but the facial
Time out. It was 80 degrees this weekend. This nigga had nothing on with no zipper.
I had to be outside in the morning before it got hot. All right. Why you hating?
Go back to last week's episode and see if he got enough facial hair to get caught in the zipper.
All right, look. He got caught in the zipper.
In the comment section.
So I needed to trim it down just a little bit, but the facial clippers were dead. I had not charged the battery. So I thought I could kind of like eyeball with the liners, and I took a chunk out, and it was pretty much, it had to go. It all had to go.
So
you already had chunks missing, nigga.
Exactly. But the chunk was not on the chin.
I'm not gonna let Alex sit up here and say you had a spotty beard, G.
It was a struggle beard already, so to have it with a partially shaved was been too much.
We wouldn't.
I noticed.
No one would have noticed, G.
Noticed.
But your lady noticed though, right?
Why did you have to cut the mustache?
So look, this is the thing that I still don't quite understand. Maybe y'all can help me with this. So my wife saw it.
Why you cut the mustache too, though?
I don't even have a mustache. I never had a mustache.
So like, it's always been like that?
Yes. Literally never had a mustache.
We never noticed.
That's why they be calling you a dyke, G. That
nigga on his hormone pills, G. That's why he getting them little whiskers, G. He halfway through his transformation.
I thought you cut your mustache, bro.
I don't have a mustache. I've never had a mustache in my life.
I know they make tattoos, but I see you tatted up. You can get a tattoo and just
damn.
This nigga's disrespectful.
All right, man.
Hey, so look, go ahead.
I ain't got shit else to say, man.
Oh, so did your lady not want to get close to you this week?
That's what I was gonna tell you. All right,
or you banned until that shit started growing back.
She saw me, and insults I kind of expected, but one of them kind of caught me off guard. She said I look like a coon. I don't know how
the lack of
shaving a little bit of facial hair that I had makes me all of a sudden like, you know,
a real nigga.
Maybe that's what it is, man.
Hey man, yeah, you got to do better for you and your wife, man.
Man.
To take an extra tablet or something, whatever you got to do to make that motherfucking herbal shit go.
You need to start taking some testosterone or something, G.
Damn, man.
Get his libido up, G.
There's no reason Marty should have some more facial hair than John, G.
Marty is okay. That's fair.
Hey,
I'm not gonna get us in more trouble.
Alex getting too many laughs off right now, G. So we gotta ask. So Alex's significant other, Chauncey, has joined the show with us tonight. So the lovely Chauncey, I got a question for you.
Hello, yes.
So yeah, definitely hit the round of applause right there. So Alex had this thing last year. You know what I'm saying? It's getting cold in Chicago. The weather's changing. The nigga was walking around in a grown man nightgown.
Yeah, no, a thong, G. A thong.
Hold on, no. We ain't even on the thongs, G. We still on the two-tone nightgown, G.
The 90.
The 90. With the 3/4 sleeves.
Damn onesie.
The onesie.
So he told us we have him on episode like 7, telling us that when he put the gown on, the mood gets set just right. So can you clarify for us when he slides in the bed with that gown? The energy's still there? I gotta know.
The energy is laughter, because I don't understand why he has this grown, long, one-piece pajama shirt / dress on.
So do it cover his thighs? Do it come past his thighs?
It goes down to pretty much his calf. That's where that thing goes.
Do you see the cuff of his booty cheeks though, like from the back?
No, you would have to lift it up. So no, you can't.
Oh my goodness!
So he ain't around there walking around with a fitted gown on, huh?
No, but I will tell you,
it's not fitted around the hips.
No, it's big. It's like bro. You can't see anything. He just walks around in it. But I will say he will go to the mailbox in that. In the day, he has gone outside to say goodbye to the kids when they walk down to the bus.
This nigga's a wild man, G.
He's done some shit out your daughters, bro.
I don't give no fuck.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you though, G.
Tuck it in the pants.
He tucks it in the pants.
What?
It slides on.
Bro, that's too much gown to be tucking in your pants, my nigga.
She said it come past the calves, G.
Well, so how was you tucking anything in?
You tucking in 3.5 feet of gown into
G,
your pants.
3.5 feet of gown, G. That nigga cheeked up in Walmart. He got all that shit stuffed in the back.
Oh my god!
And don't let it be cold because he'll have this on with it too.
So he comboing it with the Scully.
Uncle Scrooge, that's who I be.
Scrooge McDuck, G. Hey man, hey. So we'll be remiss, man. We introduced Chauncey. We do have two other lovely ladies on the show. As you can see, Kia, Nate's beautiful wife, is on the show, and my beautiful significant other, Miss Drea, she's joined the show. She's just as much energy as me, man. But this to me feels like a hostile takeover, right? So let's not waste no time. Let's get right into the show, man.
Check the stats, we winning. When we lost, we replenished. Started last, but we finished. I just need my percentage. Outer space is the limits. Lie when they said the sky. My life like Claude, take a risk. Need my piece of the pie. Check the stats, we winning. When we lost, we replenished. Started last, but we finished. I just need my percentage. Outer space is the limits. Lie when they said the sky. My life like Claude, take a risk. Need my piece of the pie.
Check the stats, we winning. Going hard since the beginning. I took off a minute, but now I'm back in it. Like work when your vacation finished. I cleaned up my image, I'm grinning, cause I ain't in debt no more. I was down, now I'm up like my credit score. Got a daughter, I gotta do better for. Let's get paid off these punchlines and metaphors. Taking the steps to be wealthy. Pop Global LLC. Went from a worker to owner, the system.
What's up, everybody? You are now tuned in to A Cloud of Smoke, the podcast where we talk our shit. I'm one of your hosts, the big homie John, and I guess we'll just pass it to the floor.
Hey, the floor has it. Look, I'll listen. I'm gonna be toxic for a minute, G. You know what I'm saying? So when this hostile takeover came about, right?
Yeah.
It was all on Drea's hands, right? She strong-armed me and Nate on Friday, told her she had some shit to get off her chest, and then she kind of bullied me and told me that, you know, she was gonna call into the show. So I say, fuck calling into the show, just bring your ass on, right? So now the ladies are here. We've got 3 of the 4. We're happy to have them. I'm your big homie Jaffe, the clout butcher, my significant other, Drea, my girlfriend, my future wife. She making the faces, and the boys done already checked me on it, but I'm putting that shit into the ethos, the atmosphere. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to freaking.
Yo, what it do, baby? Back once again, I got my beautiful wife here with me, Miss Chauncey.
Hello.
She worse than Al at this shit. Hello. She worse than Al at this shit. You ain't prepper.
Talk to the audience.
We're good. I will.
All right.
Look at her. So go ahead, throw that lob.
Big Nate.
Hi. I'm Nate. This is my wife Kia. Hey.
Hello.
Y'all so dry.
Y'all
so damn dry.
Typically about this time, I'm in the bed with my bonnet on and a deep.
There we go.
Hello.
There we go.
No, I'm getting there.
The Lagrones or the Armstrongs, whichever last name we going by at this point.
Mm-hmm. Trouble.
Nobody responded to
hey,
that.
What do you do on Life, G? Trouble. Motherfucker get the rocking, G, like, Don't go there. Touchy subject, man.
Hey, John, introduce your old lady, bro.
Man, I'm married to the game, my boy.
This motherfucker going to the doghouse for sure, G.
I'm married to the game, boy.
Hey, Alex and Chauncey, when y'all basement gonna be done? Because John gonna need that motherfucker real soon.
Oh man.
So look,
for the
man,
record, I just want to get this off my chest right away. All y'all niggas acting like kids on field trips with chaperones, all right? That's how every one of y'all is acting right now, man.
Oh, damn.
All right?
How they be acting, John? What they be doing normally?
I ain't gonna snitch either, though. All right, so we're gonna
you Oppenheimer,
business. They can tune in every weekend.
Hey, man.
Oh yeah, wild.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We be on the same bullshit y'all hear, man. This shit be unfiltered. Nate ain't that good of an editor.
Facts.
No, don't say that. Don't say no. He definitely that good of an editor, man. All right.
Hey, he done saved Alex a many a nights, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Podcast from me.
Hey, so look, man.
We be like
so since we got the ladies on the show, man, we want to shift some energy to some conversations that we've had over the past year. And a lot of our listeners, a lot of you guys out there told us like, hey, 4 guys giving input on those topics, it just don't resonate. You need a female's point of view. And although our lovely friend of the show, Bree, does a great job with her point of view, we thought we'd go ahead and bring our misses on so that they can, elaborate. So we got a couple topics. We're going to get into them. We're going to talk about it. And hopefully we can push the conversation with a little more energy, right? So first thing I want to get into, this No Fun Wives club y'all are associated with. For all of the ladies here, man, tell us, like, a cloud of smoke really need to know, do wives, girlfriends, fiancés, do you guys ever really want your significant other to have fun without you? We got to know, because if you leave it up to me, I say no. Drea don't believe it. I gotta have the conversation. Let's talk about it.
You up? Go ahead. He called you out first. Go ahead.
I don't care. I want you to have fun, but I want you to be safe.
Well, no. That's not an answer.
That is an answer.
So let me ask you this. So you feel we finna have a whole conversation now. You feel safe with me when we together, but you don't think I'm gonna be safe when I'm dolo?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, stuff happen in the streets. I just want to know you at where you at and everything is copacetic.
I think she means safe from these thoughts. That's what she means.
Is that what it is? This thought energy? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
she means safe from these females being around.
I think so. Let me preface it this way. I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking and the ladies not getting to talk enough. So I'm gonna preface it this way. You could be out with your guys. Just talk to your missus. How long? What's the ETA before you get a text message from her, gentlemen? Don't be scared, motherfucker. We here now. Talk.
I mean, look.
Don't pander, nigga.
Yeah, my wife don't text me.
My wife don't text me either.
So y'all don't get no texts when y'all leave.
It's what I had to go through to get out the house. That's
okay. Then let's talk about it. That's what I want to hear. What did you have to go through to get out the house? I get
all the interference when I'm trying to get out the house. Once I'm out, then it is what it is.
Talk to me about the interference, Alex. What
it could be anything.
What we talking about?
Shoes still sitting here.
Look at that posture
you
switch
walk
up.
past these shoes 20 times. Why is it an issue now? You know what I'm saying? Your daughter needs to do X, Y, and Z. Well, you could have told me that 3 hours ago. Why are you waiting until I'm walking out the door? So, like I said, it's all kind of interference, or somehow she'll get frustrated or flustered, and then I had to address that, or at least act like I'm addressing it.
So you don't deviate from your plans?
I mean, every once in a while I have. I ain't gonna lie, I have, but for the most part, nah, I just go. She be all right. She grown.
I think he wants it to be like that sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I've told you things that you need to do to help out.
But why are you waiting until I'm ready to walk out the house?
I don't. You just choose not to do them.
All right.
Cap, we call it Cap?
I am.
I don't.
Hey,
John, you know what? Toxic John's going to ask a question.
Ask them questions.
I'm need to mediate at this point.
Toxic John wants to ask a question. So if he needed to do something, or anybody needed to do something, and then you ask him when they go out the door, Why does it have to be done at that moment? It's too late. I'm leaving the house already. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It just makes sense that it would wait.
Interference.
Yeah, I'm just
saying. So before we get out, because this shit feel like a fucking mediation session.
I'm just saying.
So this is the conversation.
I'm not the only one who go through that though.
But I want to be clear. I want to be clear about something, and that
there we go.
I don't know where Alex is. I know where he's going with this, and I mean I've been with him 15 years at this point.
Damn,
something like
a long time. So we have been through ups and downs. I don't care if Alex goes out. I could care less. What I do care about is that he comes home. And as you guys know on the show, he is a certain way. That is how Alex is in real life. So when he starts to drink and do different things, I just want you to stay wherever you're going to be. I don't want you driving home. If you're going to hang out with the guys, hang out with the guys. I just need to know where you're at. That's it.
This is a safety thing that Dre was talking about.
So correct. I was going to tie this in. So it's not as much as y'all don't care to rain on our parade. Y'all more want to know that we're safe.
Yes.
Look,
okay,
go
let
ahead.
me.
Please, somebody.
Because I've dealt with a situation where my husband went out.
I slept on Joffrey's couch.
No, let me finish. He went out and he got drunk to the point to where he couldn't even come home. Like
it was my going away party.
But he was with the big homie though.
No, that don't matter. You call your girl and tell her I'm too drunk and let her pick you up.
Right. He wasn't even sober enough to call me. So his whole thing is, oh, well, you tripping, but that is scary as a wife to be home late at night in the bed by myself. Mind you, just had little babies.
Joffrey, did you call her?
I did call.
He did call.
No, my best friend called me because
somebody called
because he was with my best friend's fiance too.
So somebody called her, right?
Not only, but I had to go do I had to do the investigating. I had to see what the hell was going on. So,
but you didn't have to pick the meat chunks out of his beard from the vomit.
Saying about the safety, because as men and Black men, I mean, like you guys drink, and for me, like I'm a wonder, like, okay, he gonna be good, like. I totally get what you're saying, Chauncey.
Kia,
so
you
ain't nobody checking for y'all like that. It ain't
Kia,
like
you pardon. Let me ask you this.
I just really want to know, why do y'all feel like when somebody is checking on y'all, it has something to do with a woman?
So let me ask you this.
Nobody give a fuck about them. You just like it be the safety part of that. Like,
well, I care about.
I mean, I'm not talking about don't care about. Of course, you care about your man, but I don't care. Me personally, I can speak for me. I don't care that much about the chicks. I hope that he respects me enough or knows enough that what I have at home is not worth this little dance or this little whatever you got going on. And I hope you know enough that chick at home is a little off. So shorty, you might want to stay where you at, because if she get wind, it's gonna be a whole big old thing. Like, so we gonna be cool. That's not my issue. He wants to make it as if, so when he goes out, when both of us go out, we share locations. It's not to be on no tracker or I'm finna pull up and I'm finna be looking through the window. I don't care about none of that. My thing is, if something happens, I need to be able to tell your son when he calls and say, hey, my dad didn't come home. I can look at your location and be like, well, he was here, or he told me he was here. Let's figure this shit out. Versus you just being out and don't nobody know where the fuck you at. We live in Houston by ourselves. Ain't no family out here. So who the fuck house you going to when you get drunk? Nobody. Bring your ass home.
Hey, John, do you share location with your lady?
No, but I mean.
All right, shut up. Alex, do you share location with your lady?
That's iPhone issues, bro.
No.
We Samsung over here.
I mean, like.
No. Okay, so when Alex, if he goes out, usually it's the. I know the guys. If people are in town, I know what's going on. And I just make sure it's very clear, because at this age, like, we live an hour outside Chicago.
Right.
Those people he's hanging with, a cousin, somebody has a house. Get there. Stop driving home. I will not share stories of our past, as far as partying and then coming home and all that. But like we're too old at this point. We got kids, we got families. If you're gonna be out here tore up, like stay where you need to be. I don't need you traipsing home just to say you coming home, because there's too many things that have happened in our history with cars and different things, Alex, from partying too much. And
Alex, that told me
like that
situation where I've had to wake up and go find him and figure out, like, because he's
that ain't
called.
never happened.
Okay.
So
I'm calling cap on that one.
No, it's not.
You had to come find me.
Alex, no, we're not gonna put this on the podcast.
this is live
Why
TV.
not? Shit.
Oh yeah, so look, that's that Alex shit.
Hey, in that
When the Impala
situation-
got messed up over by the mall, because you
Okay, wait.
No, we want to hear this shit.
Oh, yeah,
don't.
Oh
okay.
yeah. He messed
Look,
up his Impala.
We don't want to hear this. Look,
you
let me
was
ask
with
this
him,
question,
John, weren't
right?
you?
I hate this nigga John. He always put the axe on the good shit. As soon as we get to
Hell
party, this
no.
nigga always want to pump the brakes. G, what the fuck?
Look. So the reason why I call it cap, and I'm not saying that y'all check in like this, but we've all probably experienced or know someone who's experienced excessive checking in. Look, of course I'm safe 30 minutes after I left the fucking house. Now, if we talking 4-5 hours and I ain't been back and you was expecting me, that's one thing. But if you are periodically checking, then it does feel like it's not about safety, because I'm not leaving till probably the time I told you when I would be leaving.
So what you saying is the underlying reasoning behind the excessive check-ins?
I'm not going to speculate when people are here.
I know where they try to drive the conversation, so I want to preface it this way.
Who was excessively checking in though?
I sure don't.
I'm
not saying.
I don't think anyone excessively checks in. I guess what the point, and I'm bringing it back full circle to the conversation. The point that I'm making is that it's a matter of, like, of course they want to know where you're at. We moved over to this whole checking in conversation. It's not a matter of checking in, the whole sharing of the locations. I want to know, when your significant other is out, because most of us here, I'm gonna speak for the guys here, and then the women you can fire back at me, right? When most men go out, or let's backtrack, when women go outside, most of us are sitting at the crib like, I don't give a fuck. She could fucking have the best time in the motherfucking world.
Facts.
As long as, like, we're not gonna text. You can share your location all you want. We're not gonna check that motherfucker until it get dark outside and we getting ready to, like, unwind for the day. We're not gonna FaceTime you. We're gonna fucking find us something to fucking do, or we're gonna take a nap. Because granted, it may be because women always bring their ass home. You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
But at the same time, men bring their ass home too. So the question is it really that y'all checking in because y'all want to know that we safe, or y'all checking in because y'all think that motherfuckers is having fun without y'all? Y'all not gonna dodge that fucking question. The question is, do you guys check in because y'all want to know how much fun we having without y'all, or y'all really checking in to make sure that the motherfucker's safe? Please, just answer it for me, please.
I just need to know that my husband got to his destination.
Mm-hmm.
Be good.
I can vouch for you, Kia. I can vouch for you, because
you on your way
me
home.
and Nate have had some fun fucking nights out.
Have a good time. Like, I think issues arise when there are underlying issues. Trust, previous situations.
Oh, we're gonna talk about trust.
I can just speak for myself. I just need to know that you made it safely. And for one, I have peace when I know and trust the people who you're with, and that's another thing. So just let me know you got home. Have a good time, because I have a good time with my friends too. We all need that time to ourselves. So I'm not just going to be sitting there hounding him. Oh, what you doing? Trying to listen in the background, listen for fun, any of that kind of stuff. I'm not speaking for myself.
So Chauncey, are you listening for fun in the background?
Yeah, like I just listen to Alex.
Hell yeah.
Well, no, I don't want to say it like that. Okay, I be honest with me. If you're gonna go out and you're gonna go to a strip club, go to the strip club. You're gonna go to the casino, go to the casino. Just be honest. Like, just that's all I want. Be honest and just say where you're going. I really don't care what you do. That's it.
Okay. Miss Drea?
Minus the interference trying to get out the house.
Alex, I think you just going that way out of proportion. That's not what happened.
She gonna put hands on Alex.
Now that I put in the ether, you're gonna be more attentive to what happens when I try to leave.
No,
you're using us for
Alex,
ulterior motives.
Not what happens.
He trying to grow his brand off us.
Right.
Okay. So Dre, did you have anything to add to that?
No.
Okay. So
I want to ask this before we move on. Ladies, do y'all feel like the men throw interference when y'all ready to go out?
No.
Are we trying to help y'all get out?
No.
I encourage it.
But you can call me.
Have a great time. You deserve it.
Exactly.
You do call me.
I do call you.
When you get a break, no, that's because he be. Let me shut up. When you come home, these kids is driving me crazy.
Yeah, on Saturday night, all we got to do is look forward to San Jose State versus New Mexico on college football.
It get bad on college football on Saturday night.
When things get saucy, the night ends spicy.
Hey, I will say, if it gets too late,
that's what I'll be wondering when
they throw that back signal up and say, "Yo, everything okay?"
And I think that applies to everybody. Everybody knows, or like when you're out and I wake up and it's like, oh, 1:32, you get that. Well, let me text, see what's going on. That's just normal. But like I said, let me know when you get there. Let me know when you're on your way home, and we good.
Chauncey brought up a point that I want to talk about, right? Okay. And she said, just be honest. Like if you at the strip club, if you at the casino, wherever, just let me know. Right. And I told you guys in a past pod, I used to lie about stupid shit. Like I'd be at my friend's house playing Madden until 5 o'clock in the morning and then wake up and tell her I got home at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was just with my homies, just playing Madden, doing innocent shit till 5 o'clock in the morning at my best friend crib. Like, I needed to know from y'all, why do I feel like I have to do that?
That's what I was going to say. So the real question is, why is it that you feel like you can't be honest? Like if you're doing something innocent, why is it that do you not feel like they would accept that that's exactly what you was doing?
That sounds like a self question. You need to be asking yourself.
I don't know because I'm gonna be out. I haven't been to a strip club with anybody on this pod. You know what I'm saying? But if I was to go with one, I can't say that everybody that are going to attend are going to tell their significant other that they're going. They may say we're going out, we're going to go to a bar.
So you lying for the homies, but
I'm just saying I don't know if your girl would be honest with their partner with what's going on, even if it may be innocent, whatever it is. But like, why? I want to hear from the ladies on why you think that a man would have to lie about innocent shit.
Well, I want to add something here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what we answering? Because he just asked.
I'm gonna speak for me and my wife's situation. Chauncey,
you can't speak for both of y'all. You got to let her speak.
And I'll tell her I don't know, right? And then she'll ask me again, where y'all going? I don't know. When I know, I tell you.
That part.
That's not okay.
Hey,
honestly, I don't know. I'm going out. I'm gonna meet the homie John. We finna link with the guys.
We don't got no plans. We just in the wind. We in these streets.
I don't know where we going.
You know where you're going.
No, I don't. And you hanging. I'm telling you, a lot of times.
Hey, John, do we know where we going?
And don't know where we going.
Most of the time, it is spur of the moment. I know. We might have initial plans, but if for whatever reason there's any hiccups or we want to pivot or kind of call it audible, we do that. We really don't plan out stuff in advance.
Guys really aren't planners, but y'all have some sort of idea what y'all want to get into.
There is a general idea.
I'm going out with the guys. That's what I told you. That's what I know.
That ain't enough.
I'm telling you what I know.
There's a difference between a cigar lounge. There's a difference between a strip club.
I don't know if that's what.
But you might be at the cigar lounge, and after a couple drinks, you might want to go to the strip club.
Right. Or go to the casino.
Let us know what you
want. So like, do you want to know the play-by-play?
So hold on. So I think they just laid it out. So that in itself ties directly into this conversation. Guys, we're kind of aimless. We're not planners, right? We may be like, hey, bro, I don't got the kids tonight. I'm outside, so I'm coming out. I ain't got shit going on. I ain't got shit going on either. So pull up on me. You pull up on them, y'all at the crib, it's like, fuck it, bro, let's go hit the bar. We'll catch the game at the bar, get some wings. After you done had a couple beers and you done had some wings, motherfucker might throw it out there like, bro, let's hit the strip club. We just said strip club because that's what was thrown out there, but it ain't always got to be the strip club. Let's go hit the cigar bar. But at that point, why is it that men, and this is probably a question for us to answer, not the ladies, why is it that in that moment, we don't feel as though we can just outright say to our wife, like, or our significant other that, hey, me, John, Alex, Nate, we done with watching the game. We finna hit the strip club. Are we afraid of the pushback or the lack of acceptance that was an audible call?
I just don't feel I need to check in. I'm a grown ass man. I'm outside. I told you it's gonna be out.
I don't know where that
I don't need to
from,
give you play by play. Like, why?
But
I don't expect that from you.
Yeah. If they out to eat, if they go to have wine and they decide they want to go to the bar, I don't care. Just, you don't have to give me the play-by-play.
I don't expect play-by-play. I mean, at the end of the day, like if I know that he's with you guys or friends that I know, I'm good, but I will hope that he will feel comfortable with telling me what it is that you guys are thinking about doing, like strip club, whatever it is. At this point in our relationship, you should be able to.
Not gonna lie.
Tell me.
If y'all ever said we going to the strip club, I'm not telling her we going to the strip club. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm not. Like, so like I may pop up in the strip club and be like, oh man, we just kicked it at John house. Like, even though it's innocent.
Why?
Yeah, I don't.
That's because I'm afraid, and this is a completely transparent moment.
We love transparency.
Hold on. Let me be transparent. Because I'm afraid of what her thoughts will be about that said thing, because we've never had a conversation about that part of our relationship, right?
Having it now.
Exactly, right? So like again, and this is a form of therapy in the conversation, right? I do it if I didn't, honestly feel like it was innocent fun, right? But at the same time, if I was out with y'all and y'all was like, we finna hit the strip club, I don't know if I would hit up and like, yo, we finna hit the strip club. You okay with that? And because I would just go.
But why is it that you feel like you have to say, are you okay with that? Why can't it just be like, hey, we called the audible, we about to go hit the strip? No. I get the respect. I'm all for it. I think it's a negative connotation about checking in. It's just running it past her. It's not checking in. It's just like, look, so this is the thing. Like with me and Drea, we share locations. That the reason why I don't like don't take this wrong, but the reason I don't give a fuck about what she's doing when she out, one, I trust her. Two, her location on. So if at any time I ever get worried, where the fuck is she at? I can hit that motherfucker. But her being a woman, she gonna give me the play-by-play anyway. That's just who the fuck she is. Right. Most of our wives are like that. They gonna give us the play-by-play whether we want it or not. But as a man, you know what I'm saying? I think we fall guilty at the point of like checking in. That's what I think part of it is. And then the other part is it's not checking in. It's simply being like, look, we not gonna stay here tonight. This shit is ass. I will say that shit. They will tell you. I'll tell you that shit was ass. I'm not staying there. I'm kind of at that point in my life too, where I'm not trying to be outside if the shit is cheeks. So at this point, babe, this shit ass. These niggas want to go play softball. I got the cleats in the car. I'm just gonna tell her that and go about my motherfucking day. Because God forbid she have to check the location. And it's like, well, nigga, you not where you said you was. Why the fuck would you tell me? Now you're creating a bigger storm than you ever needed. When it's so simple to just be like, this what the fuck I'm doing.
This question is specifically for the Drea, Kia, and Chauncey, right? When we out, what do you think is happening in the background? I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna preface this question by
fuck these bitches. Fuck these bitches. That's what they think is going on. The ladies is rubbing our chest.
The ladies is dancing, drinking,
washed up. That shit's not
they ain't checking for our old washed up ass nowhere.
Like dudes, like we ain't finna hit the dance floor. Like right. If I go with my guys, we probably not getting no hookah. Like, what do y'all think is going on?
Drake, hold on. Wait a minute. Before the answer, let me tell you. Let me tell y'all how washed your boy is.
We ain't finna go out there cut no rugs. G.
Hold on. No, wait. Hold on, Nate. Hold on. Babe, what was I complaining about this weekend?
What you talking about?
What was I complaining to you about this weekend? Saturday while we was out.
Babe, you complain about a lot of stuff.
There she go. So this edible whooping her ass, and I can already tell y'all that. Look, your boy hip was clean out of place, G. Motherfucker was at brunch getting limber. Like motherfuckers ain't at the club shaking their ass, motherfucker. At the most, we sitting in that motherfucker, lean back, laughing and joking.
Can I say this in response to what Nate was saying?
Go for it.
I don't think that we I don't think that we think that y'all are just out here just, oh, hoes over here. Oh, I think that if a person thinks that way, you gave her a reason to think that way. I don't think that that's our initial thought, that you just out here just doing what the fuck you want to do, unless you have been caught out there doing what the fuck you want to do. So now this is what she thinks. So when you go out per se, I don't think that. My mind literally does not go towards females. It really does not. I really give you that much to where I feel like you respect me enough not to do no stupid shit. Because for one, I'm gonna fucking find out one way or another. Whether it's this week, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, something gonna happen to where it's gonna come back full circle. So I don't think that it's so much that, but on top of that, if you never gave me a reason to feel like, oh, he be out there talking to hoes and da-da-da-da, why would I think that? I don't think no female thinks that way. Unless she got like some past trauma or some shit that she just ain't got over, or nigga, you been the one that's out there doing fuck shit.
But hold on. First off, we all some desirable niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? They might
nothing to do with.
They might be flocking. They might be flocking.
Hey,
come on, man. They might be flocking.
Grow his beard back first.
But at the same time. Like I totally agree with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? For me, I don't worry about none of that shit when I go out, because when I go out, I'm bored with everything that's outside. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I want to do consists of a fucking television and my cell phone. You know what I'm saying? The shit that gets me excited, like, it ain't in a club, it ain't in a bar. That shit is a football game, a basketball game, a $50 fucking parlay. Like, that's the shit that gets me fucking excited. And I think women haven't, I'm not gonna say women haven't got to that point, but I think once you with your significant other, that shit goes out the door, because you know that, like, he going out because he has to get outside. He needs to get away from the house, right? Because most men that I know my age, the shit that we want to do consists of a couch, a cell phone, and a fucking TV, you know? So at this point, you know, it is a trust thing. So let's do this. Let's pivot. Let's have a conversation. Is trust earned or is it given in a marriage, in a relationship? What's that?
I want to ask y'all. So y'all are in a, we ain't gonna call it a new relationship, but you guys are dating right now. You guys
in the newest relationship.
So
we're in the most recent, yeah.
So I want to ask you this: Did you walk into your relationship with your trust meter at 100, or did you had to build up to a certain trust level?
I want to hear from Drea first.
Yeah.
I start off trusting you until you give me a reason not to.
So you start off at 100, and it depletes from there. What about you, John?
So I definitely am one of those. Y'all know me. I'm one of those people. I don't trust many. Like, my friend circle's so small. So when I do introduce somebody new to my circle, that shit is earned. So you know what I'm saying? But for me, I take people's actions and their character into consider. Like, when we started talking, it was clear that she was all in on Joffrey. And I'm not trying to, you know, say that she was like all, but she made it clear that, like,
my nigga G,
no, she wasn't. See, I knew you was gonna go there, but she made it clear like my energy, her energy was with me. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So because of that, she matched the energy, so I had to match her energy. So at that point, the trust level was up there. Now, there was things in our early relationship where, you know, being a single and getting into a relationship, you still do shit that's like single people shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And then when the motherfucker call you out on the shit, you either can face that shit or you can fucking run away from it. The thing about her, she don't let you run away from shit. So everything that I'm used to fucking doing, she didn't let me do. So when that became the case, I knew, like, I had to lock in. You know what I'm saying? First off, Joffrey too lazy to lie. That shit take up way too much energy, and I ain't about that life. So I don't lie. I refuse to lie. Before I lie, I will just, you know, and this is gonna sound bad. Before I lie, I will just fucking bite the bullet and just take the ass whooping. But I tell motherfuckers all the time, you know what I'm saying? My girl crazy. She fight women. So it's best for you to keep it moving. Like, she fight me and you. So just go keep it moving. So for me, the trust, it was earned, but it didn't take long. Like, we were kind of locked in within the first 3 dates. Within a month, like, we had put all the childish shit behind us. So What about you guys? Was it given? I know a lot of you guys have longer relationships. So is it something that was earned? Was it given through the door?
I don't even know. Really, I don't even know how to answer that question. Nate and I grew up together. Like Nate and I met when I was 15?
15.
So like we were kids.
On stalker mode.
We were kids. Nate and I have had many highs and lows and learned some. We're still learning about each other. And I think what I will say, I think that women tend to go into relationships trusting.
Mm-hmm.
I think most women do. It's been a long time, since Nate and I, began dating or whatever. But I would like to say that I went in trusting him. But like I said, we were kids. We trust was what relationships was, what nothing was. So we just learned along the way, but I think that we trusted each other going in.
I mean, I did for sure, but I think like it's nothing worse than depleted trust and having to earn that shit back.
That part.
That shit is an undertaking, and it's something that it takes a lot, and and if there's anything that will ever put a strain on a relationship, I think it will be that part. It's just trying to earn back trust that was given and taken away, and then trying to again refill that depletion that that you came in with.
Yeah.
And I think you brought it up earlier, Jaffe, but just the action part of the relationship and just being intentional about the shit that we talk about. So just like we were just talking about the checking in, I think when you're building back trust, like you're gonna over communicate, you're gonna overshare, you're gonna go overboard to show and prove that things are on the up and up.
But another thing that I want people to really understand and realize is that once you've lost trust, a lot of things are triggering. A lot of things, like for instance, going out. If you've cheated on your significant other, you going out. Of course, want to be all up on your bumper because I remember what you did a couple years ago with some girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like understand that even while you're in the process of, if you're on the road to recovery, healing, moving forward, that it's a process and that there are going to be things that are going to be triggering to your significant other. And don't be upset or mad when they're bringing that up because that's the trauma that you put on them.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I really think people need to keep in mind. It doesn't mean that I'm moving back or,
Now we podding, kid. Now you're talking some shit.
It doesn't mean that I am still dwelling on the past or any of that stuff. Most women, we want to move on. We want to be happy, again, after trauma and, situations, but don't get upset when you out with your guys and I hear bitches in the background and I think about what happened years ago and that triggers me and hurts me and makes me think about all of that stuff and question you. You got to
So it's being conscious of your partner's past traumas and hurts, correct? Especially when it's you who dealt them.
Be understanding.
I gotta hear from Chauncey.
Yeah.
I gotta hear from Chauncey. With you and Alex. I know you guys have been in it 15 years. Y'all were young adults at that point. Did you come in 100% trusting of Alex, or did Alex earn that from you? Like, I gotta know.
I think for me, and I won't put it all out here, but I didn't fully trust him at the beginning. No. Remember, I didn't fully trust him. I don't know where.
Because you was hanging out in Boys Town, nigga. Shut up. The fuck? Going down there for free drinks, nigga. I wouldn't trust you. Nah, nigga. You was in Boys Town talking about, hey, they was liquoring me up.
I need you to mediate here, G.
I have nothing to say about his Boys Town excursion.
The full heart, G.
And I've got nothing to say about any of this.
But no, Chauncey, no. Let her finish speaking.
For us, Alex was. I know I've heard from him where he was at in his life when I met him, and it was on the downside of whatever wildness is going on. which I'm assuming is why they call you Freaky Al or whatever the case may be. But
it's actually not.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I've
but
never called this nigga
like
Freaky
it took a minute because and there were some things that just happened. For me, like I always moved at my own speed. Like if you weren't stepping into my lane, you needed to get out the way. So like with Alex, it was an adjustment. Like, you know, I think he had trust issues on his own a little bit at the beginning. Don't give that look.
For you?
Maybe not for me, but I think in general, like from where he was coming from.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how I
yeah.
feel.
No, yeah.
And there were some things that were going on at the very beginning. And I was like, I don't know about you. I don't even know you. You know.
But I was transparent though.
Exactly, which is why I was like, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna be completely open with you if you're not in a spot for me to do so. Like I didn't want to waste my time. So it just took us a minute to kind of like get on the same page and for me to really trust like where he was at in his life.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear you.
No, I was just gonna say like for me to trust where he was at and not feel like I'm just gonna get some line of bullshit.
So was it Alex's actions as your guys' relationship grew that gave him the that boosted his trust factor with you, or what was it that you know
I think
pushed that over the top?
I think it was his actions for sure. Because I know he was still hanging out, you know, with his guys and stuff like that, but it was his actions that I feel like were different and how he was moving, you know, and I don't know, it evolved, you know.
So would you, when you say how he was moving, would you say your role became more significant with him? I
really think so. Like, I mean, we talk about checking in, right? But it was more of that going on. It was less about just trying to always hang out with the guys and more about trying to find a balance. Okay.
Alex, what do you guys say? Did you come into it? I know you kind of alluded to, so you might have had some shit going on, but go ahead.
Yeah. Nate and Kia was talking about trust laws and having to earn trust back and all that. So I went through that in a prior relationship on both sides. So my ex had to regain my trust and then I had to regain hers, and it eventually deteriorated. So I was kind of just living free for a while until I met Chauncey. So knowing the work that I put in that past relationship, I didn't want to start with an empty tank like that. So I was very transparent with her about where I was at in my life, where I had been and where I wanted to go. And then she presented, you know, things to me. Like, this is probably the most loyal person I know, like, bar none. Like,
we love to hear that shit.
And I peeped that early on. And I was okay, I don't know where my life is taking me, but I know I want her to be a part of it. So I kind of, once I identified, you know, who she is and her roots and her foundation, I wanted to set up shop with that. And that's when I started moving in accordance to that. Like
so you got in her lane, nigga, like she said.
Pretty much. Like when we first met, we was just kicking it, having a good time. But then I just kind of peeped how she moved. I'm like, oh, this is the type of woman I need to be trying to settle down with.
Right.
So that's when I started shifting, you know, and trying to really focus on her and investing and building equity with her. But I was very transparent from the beginning because I didn't want to have to start at ground zero like I had done in a prior relationship with betrayal and all that shit. So I was very, you know, just this is where I am, and then we kind of, you know, meet where we meet. And see.
Is it safe to say that you started from E and built up a trust level, as opposed to Drea saying she starts on full and you deplete? Did you, like, because of your past experience, did you start on E and your experience with Chauncey had to build up to a level of trust?
I think my opinion is, I think if there was anything to make it lower, is because I was being honest with her at the beginning. But I think once she seen how I was moving associated with the honesty, she was like, okay, I see what this man is trying to do. Even if it wasn't like the most, I don't know, finesse or whatever, like if it wasn't the smoothest, I think she recognized I was just being genuine and real to where I was at.
I could attest to that right now, though, because I mean, just in how you operate right now, you know, when she's not around, you know what I'm saying? I could definitely see that for sure. Hey, John.
I'm an open book. That's me.
You over there quiet as hell, G. Like, just because your lady on here don't mean that you ain't got to tag in. Tell me.
I will. Oh,
go ahead, Conchassi. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and I know this is probably another subject, right? But then it, like, the way our relationship kind of built, I feel like I began, like, once I was able to shift through him and what was going on and things of that nature, I was able to see like the qualities for me that I wanted from a man that I would be with. And that kind of builds, and I know, like you said, it'll be another topic on the show, but like, I started to see all the things that I wanted that maybe I didn't have, or that I had that I wanted to have matched. Like, there were things that I was able to kind of shift through with him and identify, which I really like, because we're married.
So let me ask you this. So would you say his transparency in the beginning helped or hurt him in the beginning? Did it add to the tank, or was it taken away from the tank?
No, I think it helped. For me, being who I am, that helped.
Okay.
It helped a lot.
John, what was you about to tell us, man? Come on with it. What you got? Your toxic sensor done went down, bro.
I'm where I need to be.
Lonely, that's what it's.
I feel like trust is always
Nigga said he's lonely.
It's a cold world, man.
It's a cold world, like that nigga.
Cold world,
he over there hugging his sneakers, G.
Damn, man. I'm gonna sleep on the soles tonight, man.
My wife over here rubbing my back. You over there rubbing the soles of your 11s, G.
Man. Hey, man, don't rub it in, man. Hey, a little better warning, G. I mean, my wife would have been rubbing on my back too. Fuck y'all.
You ain't want to share your space, G. You ain't want to.
Look, I got her spot right here, G. Look at that. It was set up right there.
Nice wide shot.
It was set up right there.
Your face too big to share your space. G.
It's not, G.
That's what it is, man. I be up on the camera.
Close. Ain't no space for nobody else.
There you go, man.
John has spread out tonight, G.
Go ahead, John.
Shoulders,
tell me about trust, John.
I feel like we use the word trust, but what we really mean is like when you just learn someone, right? Like the reality is you trust people to be who they show you that they are, right? My boy Al will tell you, I was never one that was like really into going out and shit like that. So the homies would be like, yo, man, we finna go out. And I'd be like, yeah, I got you. I'm gonna go. He know I'm gonna send them niggas off. He trusts me because he knows me, right? John's gonna say he's gonna go, but that nigga's not going, right? You know what I'm saying? So
the worst friend possible.
yeah, definitely.
Do not plan a day around this nigga, because that shit's gonna go south. Man.
But that's the reality. Once you learn someone, then you just trust them to be themselves, right? There's another homie who he's gonna remain nameless, but don't ever loan that nigga no money. It's not coming back to you the way you want it to, right? All right. So that doesn't mean he's not the homie. We just trust him enough to be himself that a loan is probably not coming back to you.
So I definitely agree with what you said there. Like, learning a person definitely builds that equity in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to when you was when we were talking earlier about when you out. Like, when you know your person, you don't have to trust them because you know their tendencies. You know what they're gonna do. You only distrust that person when you know that motherfucker's got fucked up tendencies, that motherfucker will engage somebody. Like me, I don't care where Drea go. Drea could be at a mogul all-star event. And my thing is, her attitude don't change, whether it's me, whether it's only motherfucker is Future, but you know, I got words for that nigga. But whether it's me or any other like nigga in the world, she gonna have the same attitude. She gonna dismiss him. And I know that about her. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it in action. Like, we'll be out in a crowded club, dudes will grab her hand. I don't even turn my shoulder because I already know what's gonna happen. Oh. We talked about it. You know what I'm saying? She gonna dismiss him, and then she gonna say, "Babe, did you see that goofy?" Like, nope, didn't catch him. It didn't matter, you know. And I'm sure, like, we had this conversation. No, listen, we had this conversation on the pod, bro. Chauncey's here, Kia's here. We had this conversation. I'm not that guy. I don't have to be that guy no more because I have somebody. Like, you never have to worry about Kia. You never have to worry about Chauncey, right? He never has to worry about Rashonda. You know, that's just one of those things because they've shown you who they are. They're not deviating from the plan. The plan has always been you and her and I. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's nothing that could break that bond. Every nigga in the world can shoot their shot. Kia coming home to Nate. Rashonda coming home to John. Chauncey coming home to Alex. Alex that told us he don't give a fuck where she go because she bring her. He told us what she doing when she get home. Yeah. So we don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when you know your person, you don't have that issue. You know. So I think with men, that's one of the things that we learn right away, and with women, because there may have been some trauma, some issues in the past. That part isn't embraced right away.
Hold that thought. Yeah. Hold that thought, Jaffe.
Most oftentimes for women.
Drea, has Jaffe or another man ever told you, I trust you, but I don't trust niggas?
Yeah.
Chauncey, has Alex or another man ever told you, I trust you, but I don't touch other men? Why do you think we say that?
To excuse y'all behavior.
No, not us.
No.
John, have you ever told a woman, I trust you, but I don't trust?
Nope. Dude? Never
said that.
Nope.
So what does that mean?
Jaffe, go ahead. Explain it.
It gives them a reason to be as overprotective and overbearing as they want to be.
I agree. I agree partially with that, Kia. But the thing is, you know, men are overly aggressive when you're outside. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all don't have a male individual with y'all, you could be with your group of friends and all of that. Girls don't protect you like your man will. You know what I'm saying? They smile at the first pretty nigga that come around. You know what I'm saying? They enjoy that energy. So it's not that I don't trust you. You can fucking go out like I don't want to sound terrible. Drea could go anywhere in the world and I wouldn't bat an eyelash. Like I really
That's
wouldn't.
not true. Because when we be at the bar, like you be standing up on the thing, like watching me.
So you want to know? You want to? So let's go.
It's not true.
Okay.
Don't say
that. So let's go.
So now let's pause. Look. So you want to know why I stand up to watch? Because I know my girl, and you want to know what I know of my? No, I'm not capping. Jaffe,
you just said I drink and go anywhere in the world. I don't give a fuck.
Listen, no. This is what I'm pointing at.
You literally watch me.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk your shit because I'm gonna talk my shit. Y'all see what that shit say right there? That shit say the clout butcher, right?
I believe Drea because I know how guys are,
and that's fine.
Every single one
and Kia. So listen, this is why I stand up and watch her, because I do know that niggas will shoot their shot. We in Houston. This the thirsty, like I know y'all in Atlanta, this the thirstiest city in the world. Motherfuckers will sit and watch you with your girl in Houston. And the minute that she walk away, that motherfucker will try to shoot a shot. It ain't shit to do with her. It's the niggas that's around, and that's the truth. Because at that point,
see, that's that. I trust you, baby. I just don't trust them.
No. But you got it wrong. But you got it wrong though, because the way you see it,
that's what it is.
No. I'm not gonna hold that because I'm gonna finish it.
You ever told a girl that I trust you, but I don't trust niggas?
You just said it. You just said it without
so let me tell you this. Right. So, and this is what I'm telling y'all. I know my girl, because if a nigga is disrespectful to her, the club going up. So standing up on the chair to make sure that she make it from the bathroom to the fucking back to her seat is not at any cap to a nigga. It's because if she feel disrespected in any kind of way, I'm flooring that bitch. Like, period. So that's why I stand up.
But
that's why I stand up.
My explanation is different. So when I say that, it's because I've been around dirtbag niggas. Simply put, right?
We all know a few.
We all know dirtbag niggas. Raise your hand if you know one. Go ahead.
I don't know any.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know nothing but wholesome family man.
This nigga here, man. I know dirtbag niggas, right?
I'm about to give out a little dirt cough.
The woman shooting the nigga down, the nigga doing the most, you know what I'm saying, and intentions being weirded out, man. So while I trust you and I trust your thoughts and like what your intentions are, I don't always trust that you'll be able to handle yourself in a situation where I would want you to, right? Because a lot of women would try to just move a nigga out their way.
Nicely get the nigga out.
I be wanting you to be like, hey, back up off before I beat your ass. Like, that's what I would want to hear, but obviously you would never do that. I know that one would do it, but I'm just saying, like, I would want, if I'm not in an area where I can control that situation, right? I don't trust that at all times, you will be able to handle yourself in that situation. Again, in the way that I would be comfortable with.
On that, can I be toxic? Can I be toxic for a minute? On that note, I want to ask the ladies: have y'all ever just gave a nigga y'all number or a fake number just to get the fuck away from y'all?
Yes.
Guys don't talk to me.
In my early 20s going out.
No, I'm saying since y'all been with y'all significant other, because that's what Nate's speaking to. Like y'all will nasty a nigga away from y'all instead of being on some
cut that off.
Move the fuck around type shit.
I just cut that off.
And
how do you go about cutting it off?
I'm married. No, I'm not.
Niggas don't give a fuck about that. They want to be your sneaky.
I mean, I walk away. There's nothing for me to have this conversation. I don't need to have.
Like, go get yours.
No, nobody.
You gotta have that ratchet friend. Look at that business bitch. You gotta have a ratchet friend.
And Kia, you said they don't even approach you when you out, huh?
I tell Nate all the time, like, okay, well, there was
look at their face.
I was just gonna say there was a time recently that happened, but seriously,
at the Bobby Valentino concert.
I don't know.
My husband driving on Nate.
they never
driving on Nate.
Like I don't have that issue. I don't know if it's because my demeanor, like I don't know. I think I'd be having like some sort of mean look on my face or something, but guys really don't talk to me. I mean, I have my ring on all the time, like, and I be with girls that be single and they still don't. So I don't really have that problem, but I don't mind shutting a nigga down.
So John, now that you ain't got your facial hair, do you got to shut niggas down out here?
Oh my God. Man, I knew this was gonna happen, man.
Hey, I'll be fighting out the WNBA players. And
shit. They be trying to take them down, G.
Hey, it could have been easier if we had another guest on the show.
G, he definitely giving out Brittany Griner vibes tonight.
Hey man, wait, we can't get no Brittany Griner jokes off today, man. Free BG. I think it shook back. She going to real Russian jail now after her hearing. So
damn, real Russian jail, G.
Yeah, they taking her out of like the post-trial hearing, like, and they send her to a prison college.
She finna be banging rocks, G.
I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen over there, man, but it ain't gonna be sweet.
Hey, for the record, your boy Jaffe beat that case today, G.
Hey, man.
I was in a jam, G. Texas tried to hit me with that parking ticket, G. Tried to hit me for the 77, G.
Damn.
Had to get up out of there. Hey, man, but look, that was a very indulgent conversation. I think we got a lot of energy out of that. So before we end the night, I want Drea to preference this question. We go back and forth every week. We have some hot topics or questions that we bounce off of one another. One of them was a really pressing question as far as like attraction and your significant other. So babe, what was it that we were talking about?
So basically, when you start dating a person, do you date them because they have qualities of if you're female, your father, if it's a male, your mother? Or maybe they have qualities that are completely different from how you grew up, basically.
So the question that she's posing to everybody here, we want to know when you guys started dating, what were some things that secured you and moving forward with that person? Was it things that you saw in them that your parents may have had, or were there things that you didn't have growing up that they presented to you that made it, easier for you to love it and be vulnerable with them?
John, you got to go first.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I would say that at least I'll speak for myself. I didn't think that any woman I've ever dated had any qualities or anything like my mom. It would have been weird to even kind of look at it like that. So, it's probably physical attraction, and then we just go from there. I mean, that's just how it goes.
So would you say that your girl? Would you say that
looking at it as the physical? It's not a physical.
Not the physical. I'm talking about like personality, like demeanor, mannerisms. I've never thought any woman that I've ever dated had any personality like my mom, mannerisms, like thought processes, nothing.
Okay. I got a follow up then. Your mom raised you. You've been knowing your mom your entire life. You've been with Shonda for however many years, 15 plus years. Can you see parallels in the woman that your mom is and your wife?
No, actually, I can't.
Not one?
No, matter of fact,
hold on. We finna. you believe your mom is a good woman.
Good woman, good wife, good mom. Those are all three different things.
Okay.
Right.
So you wouldn't quantify your mom
mother,
and your wife in the same three buckets.
Do I believe my mom is a good woman and a good mom? Absolutely. I've never thought about the other one, right? It's the same way, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about Rashonda, she's a good wife, she's a good woman. Well, I look at her as a good mom to our kids. So maybe that's a little bit different when you're talking about your wife. But yeah, I don't know. I can't answer the question the way you asked.
This nigga won't give his wife no credit for shit.
How is that not credit? She don't want to be like my mama either. That's so I don't see how.
That is horrible.
How is that horrible?
Bruh.
That is horrible.
Right, man. Has to have some good qualities.
I like to think she got some good qualities
come
too.
on, nigga, some bell, G. Hey, unpack that more, G. You're like,
yeah.
Elaborate. This doesn't feel like Bill. This actually feels like the opposite. But go.
Unpack it.
What I'm saying is that I feel like the whole like mom quality things is like rooted in like some Freudian bullshit ideology about. I promise you, I do not see any of like my wife's qualities and my mom's like qualities. I don't see them like crossing at all.
So I'll elaborate. So for me, with Drea, she definitely has my mom's personality. Like she's one of those people whose personality is big. My mom's personality was huge. You know what I'm saying? Damn near could suck the energy out of a room. Pause. That's Nate, please edit that. But you know what the fuck, like, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it could take up the energy in a room, kind of where I get mine from. So with Drea, I see a lot of my mom, like when it comes to hosting events, when it comes to carrying a conversation, the way that she's overbearing with the kids. Like we go back and forth. I don't give a fuck what these kids do. She really takes it to heart when the kids don't text back. I think all of us have teenage kids or kids on the brink of being teenagers. They all have cell phones. You could text them and ask them to do something. They may respond to you an hour later, right? Mm-hmm. She takes that shit personal. Like, I can't stand these kids. And I'm like, why?
Because it's rude.
But, my mom was overbearing like that. So, I see a lot of those same characters in her. And I'm not going to say that's what drives me to her. But those factors definitely open me up to being like, this is somebody that I want to build and be in a relationship and potentially have as my wife one day, because those same qualities that I loved about my mom, I do see them in her. You know what I'm saying? And then
but that's not what you said on Friday.
But that ain't got to be what I tell you all the time, girl. We talking right here, right now.
Okay.
But and Nate was on that call. So
I know.
At the end of the day,
you on here.
I'm not capping, because all I said on Friday was that you mean as hell, and that was the point that I was finna make. My mom was one of those. My mom, if it was up, it was up. Like if she was gonna tell you.
I don't think that qualifies you as me. Nah. I think that qualifies me as I'm very straightforward. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. If I don't, I don't.
And that's
There's
my mom.
no phony kicking it.
My mom would come to your house.
I don't feel the need to phony kick it. I will come to your house and not like you, eat your shit, talk shit, and go my ass the fuck home. And I dare somebody put me
right
fuck
there,
out.
That right there is exactly what my mom used to say. I dare motherfucker put me out their house. Mama, this their house. You're gonna have to get up and leave if they ask you to leave. I'm gonna eat that nasty ass food and tell them it's nasty. But that's her. So I see so much of my mom in her. It's not a weird thing. It's something that really, like, it really resonates with me, especially with my mom not being here. She kind of is an extension of my mom. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of fucking ways. But, the attraction is definitely there. My mom was a bigger woman. She don't look nothing like my mom. So it's not weird. So I want to pass it to Chauncey and Alex, man. So Alex, what do you think? Or Chauncey, what do you think about Alex?
I'll let Alex go first.
I mean, how can I say this? I think growing up, we all, for the most part, we think the world of our parents. So as we get older and we become adults and our relationships evolve with our parents, and we have more adult relationships with our parents, we start to see, kind of they chinks in the armor where they weren't perfect or where they kind of could have done better in raising us and all that kind of stuff. But I will say that, I commend my parents for the job they did. I understand some of the decisions they made and the choices they made raising me and my sister. And I feel like you know, the good qualities that I identified in my mom as a mother, and I guess from observing my parents' relationship as a child, so as a wife, I would say that my wife has, you know, those good qualities, and I'm glad she doesn't have some of the bad or negative qualities that I have seen from my mom in terms of being a wife and a parent. So I don't know if there was necessarily an attraction, but I definitely have identified, you know, the similarities and the differences over the years that, you know, I've been with my wife. So
look at her. She wanted that approval. She was like, nigga, don't fuck this up, nigga.
No.
Nigga, don't you fuck this up.
I think for me, like, I didn't come from like, my parents were married, you know, my dad lived in a whole different state, and I won't go down a rabbit hole at all with that, but there were qualities that I wanted in a man, and there were some that I didn't. And, you know, I wanted him to be responsible. I wanted him to be somebody, if we were eventually to have kids, which we did, to be present. That was the number one. You were not going to be MIA.
Dance recitals and all.
Hey, show up with your Adidas track outfits or whatever it is, gold chains, do it all. Like, but you're gonna be present. You know, and I think there's qualities I had. You know, I have a stepdad who's very active in my life too, and I saw those qualities too. You know, taking care of home when he needed to be, and do the right thing. So for me, like, I saw a lot of that in Alex. He's a hustler, like, you know, I have that I grew up kind of around that mentality, and I won't go down that hole again, but Alex is that way in his like professional life now. Like, he'll do anything and everything for his family and for us. So that is exactly what I wanted, flaws and all. So yeah.
Gotta hit that block in the AMG. You know what I'm saying? Get them rocks off, G. I feel
listen, he gonna put his gown on tonight. It's up. I don't know why.
It just came out the wash. It's clean too.
I don't know why when she said he was a hustler, I visited that nigga Alex with a refrigerator on his back, G. hauling that bitch up the stairs. Like, that nigga renovating a house solo dolo, nigga. He'll do anything for sure.
Alex has done that shit too.
Right.
So Nate, Kia, bring us home on this topic, man. We got to hear from y'all.
You want? I'll go first, man. I'm gonna shoot John some bail, G, because I don't know if I see anything in my wife that I can tie directly to my mom, right? Outside of, but I will say this. Like, I always had a vision of who I would marry. And she would tell you this, like, we were together for 15, almost 13 years before we got married, right? And I would always tell her, I'm gonna get married one time, right? And it wasn't because, you know, I didn't look at her as a wife. It was like, I needed to be prepared to be a husband, right? So when I think about the things that I've always wanted in a wife, I think she embodies every part of that, right? So a lot of those same things. And to be honest, in my mom's later years with my father, they had a volatile relationship, man. I think my mama hated my daddy, you know what I'm saying? But they always made it work, right? You know what I'm saying? They always made it work. They always found a way through. And, you know, they got married 2 times in my lifetime, right? They were married when they had me. They broke up when I was about 12, 13, got married again. But the thing I would say about my mother, you know, that, you know, I don't know if it's the fact that she carries any of those qualities, but just in a wife, in a mother, I think there's certain things. When Drea brought the question up the other day, I kind of sat and said the same thing that John said, almost identical. Like, I mean, I don't, but like, I don't want it to make it, I don't think it sounds bad, which is why I wanted John to unpack it a little bit, because it's not necessarily that I look for anything in my future wife, outside of like my mom she was an excellent mother. She was the biggest support system I've ever had in my life. You know what I'm saying? She was the neighborhood friendly person, and like everybody loved her and she embraced everybody. So like just those qualities, I think I would like in anybody, whether it's a friendship, whether it's my wife, whether it's whatever it is. So, again, my mom was one of my favorite people in the world, right? And anybody that came in contact with her, I'm sure they felt the same way. So like it's real difficult to kind of, put that on anybody. But I know in a wife, I had a checklist of things. I was that dude. It was nothing physical. Like she got to have a fat ass. It was none of that shit. But it was always, like I need somebody who was going to be a companion with me. Somebody was going to ride with me. Somebody was going to have, the same outlooks on a family as I do, on raising kids. Like all of that was super important, right? So, I mean, to say that I was missing out on anything or I was trying to tailor back to anything I had or missed out on, I couldn't say that. But, I definitely had a list. Let you go.
So I wasn't fortunate enough to grow up with both of my parents. Shout out to my mom because she raised me and my two brothers. She did it all on her own. And she really actually helped me. Well, I had to grow up faster than I needed to, but it was a benefit because I was a good kid. I was like perfect to her, and I really was. But as far as a father figure, I mean, I didn't really have anything to compare Nate to. But for me, I think I yearned to feel like safe with somebody because like I said, my mom, she was single. Literally she would work nights and it would just be me and my brothers at home. And like, I would have to be like the caretaker by myself when she was gone. And there was just lots of times where I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel, untouchable. Like I did it. And for Nate, like I really, that was one of the biggest things that I like looked for. I just feel untouchable with him, and he's the most amazing father and everything that I could ask for. Like I said earlier, we grew up together and we've been through a lot together, and he's really my best friend. So having a best friend in him, and him just making me feel safe and just pouring into me and my children, like I can't ask for anything better.
So I have a question. Because unlike I grew up with my dad, right? Mm-hmm. So do you feel like when you married Nate or when you got with Nate, that kind of took over a father role? Because you just said like growing up, you had to be more, you had to do more, you had to grow up more. Quite naturally, if you grew up with the dad in the home, you would feel that security and that, so you wouldn't in turn then look for it. So that goes back to the whole thing of what we're saying. You may not go into a relationship looking for somebody exactly like that person, but they'll have to embody something that you're missing from. Yes. Am I making sense? Yeah, like exactly. Something. So yeah, like with Deshaun, we talk about this all the time. I did grow up with my dad. Deshaun is like, not to throw shade, babe, I've never dated a big guy ever in my life. My dad was a big guy.
Just the big nigga. Get you one big
guy. But my dad was a big guy, right?
Not no big nigga. Don't count me.
Just the big nigga pond.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like I never dated one. Nigga. But it was one of those like when I finally got to talk to him, funny like my dad. Like crack jokes like my dad. Don't take too much of shit serious, you know what I mean? But when it comes to his family, it can go up and it's stuck and it's that like that. So that's why we started talking about the conversation, because I do feel like whether you grow up with that parent or not, it's something about what you've missed or what you've had that you're going to subconsciously gravitate to. Like self-consciously, I gravitate to him because he is genuinely my best friend. He gets mad at me because it's like, damn, I know he be feeling like, damn, you ain't got nobody else to talk to, but it's genuinely like my dad was my best friend. So yeah, you kind of damn near stepped in that role. Like you're my best friend. When shit happens, I want to call you. My dad's not here anymore. When shit goes wrong, I'm the first motherfucker. I have my boyfriend come up here and beat your ass. Like I'm that. Or don't do that because you be on. Don't do that because you
we gonna jump
right
that nigga. Fuck you talking about?
But you get what I'm saying? Like those things, even like if I didn't grow up with a dad, I would feel like, damn, I would want somebody that would be like you explained about Nate, somebody that is that security blanket. What's really big for me by me growing up with my dad, you have to make me feel secure because I grew up with that. If I don't feel safe with you, I don't want to be with you. There's nothing else for us to talk about.
I definitely think I needed to see a lot of the things that I see in Nate to know that it was possible. Because when I like I said, I didn't grow up with my dad, but I actually met my dad in high school and he still just wasn't a part of my life. So that alone, that creates like abandonment issues and, all kind of stuff. Although I was fine, I never had any issues and I still am fine today, but I needed to see that it's possible for a man to be all the things that I've never had to his kids.
Right.
And it's kind of like, not to say I'm reliving it through my kids, but it's just, it's fulfilling for me.
It's nice to see them have what you didn't have growing up.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And although I'm not sitting here upset and sulking about it, I'd be lying to say that it doesn't affect me.
Chelsea, you look like
those things.
You look like your wheels is turning.
I was gonna go with that too, but okay. So even for with Alex, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm tough, and Alex, he might not tell you or he will. I'm a tough person to crack.
Oh, we know.
For me, because my dad was not around. It's the safety and security. I think Kia, you brought it up. I didn't always have that. And I don't think I realized that until I got with Alex, until I was like, oh shit, like you're in my space. Like I've always been responsible for me. I don't know what it's like fully to have my dad's in my corner. Like, but growing up, like, well, now he is, but growing up, he was MIA, and that's just the real. Like, so for me, it was always strong woman, raised by mother, raised by my grandmother, do what you need to do. And no man should hold you back from anything. So when Alex came in, that was a huge shift, huge. I mean, and I'm going to be transparent, right? And like, I mean, I've worked through things now, and Alex is a really good guy. And he just kind of he does for me probably what I was missing. Mm-hmm. But that comes with some hard work on his end, because I would say like I didn't have that all the time. And I was so insecure, not insecure, but just I just didn't trust. I didn't trust in that manner. So to be in a relationship with him, like, and where we're at today, I love it. I do appreciate that. But that's
now I have a question for the guys. Do y'all think that it's hard to then love a woman that's never had a dad, or even love a woman that did grow up with her dad? Do y'all feel like damn, this either I gotta live up to somebody or I gotta step in a way that I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to fulfill because I don't know.
I say it's hard because I'm living it, and it's things that. And I know sometimes she because I'm very blunt. Like if I see something, I'm gonna speak on, I'm gonna call it out. Like that's that. And I know it's times where I've called out, like, I know this don't sound fucked up, but I've told her I feel like I'm raising 3 girls sometimes because it's things that I feel like I have to kind of mold or massage, not only just in my daughters, but things in my wife at times too. And it's not a shot at her necessarily. It's just because I understand and I'm aware of what she didn't have growing up. So, and it's some battles, like it's stuff where I gotta like be assertive and put my foot down, like, yo, this is what it is, this is what it's gonna be, and this is why. And she's kind of, because she grew up in a matriarch family. So, there's a big difference, and then trying to, I don't want to say assimilate, but I guess basically that's what it is, assimilating to me being the leader of the household and, being the patriarch. It's definitely been some challenges. So yeah, that's for sure real. Now on the flip side, me and her dad got a great relationship. I don't know all the ins and outs of what happened, before I came in the picture, but I do know, and I can say this because I don't know if he listened to the show or not, but I do have a good relationship with my dad. Throwing some support. He's done his best since I've been in the picture. And I know, whatever happened before I came around, but I do know their relationship started to take a turn for the better around the same time that I got, with Chauncey. And I think he's done the best that he can with what he's had. And I think, and he's probably stopped short of saying it, but I think he envies, or not envy. He appreciates and looks up to the man that I am.
I'm sure.
Daughter.
I'm sure he does.
And I think it's partly because he knows, there were some areas he could have done better for her. So he's very.
He'll shout Alex out all day long on social media.
And y'all have daughters, right? So like, I'm sure you can, because I have a daughter too, right? And I could only wish that she has, what I try to show her, in the future, right? Mm-hmm. And like, to answer your question, I'm cognizant of it, but like, honestly, it's to a point now to where I'm always wanting to be the best version of myself for her, and not have to tie that back to anything else. You know what I'm saying? But like, just do the best that I can, and it's always a work in progress. It's always, and again, that's one of the things to where when I talked about us getting married later in our relationship, that, I wanted to be a finished product, right? And I knew that wasn't a realistic thought, right? I wanted to be a finished product going into a marriage, so I can provide the best experience for my wife for the rest of our life, right? Because again, I said I was getting married one time, but like, as you go through life and you go through shit, like, you never gonna be in a relationship, especially in a marriage, and not continue to go through things and work through things and be able to figure things out together, man. And I think some of the things that we've gone through, honestly, in our marriage, outside of our marriage, before we were married, whatever, helped mold us and create the kind of relationship that we have. So, I mean, I 100% am cognizant of, wanting to be everything that I can be as a husband, but I'm never going to be able to replace a father figure.
Right.
I'm never going to be able to like kind of do any of that. But, the way I father, I see how she looks at it. I see how she appreciates it. And I see how she lets me do that. And, she says it all the time. Right. So I think it's a little bit different, but I'm always cognizant of it.
While we having this conversation, I'm just thinking, my mom, she kind of grew up in a matriarch household too. And I know over the years of talking to my parents, they've revealed things to me to where my dad struggled to kind of, I guess, lead the family or lead the household because of, how my mom was brought up. My mom's 4 years older than my dad too. So, there's a little bit of, maturity gap and all that kind of stuff. So I think, like I said, watching my parents show me what to do, the good things, and what not to do on the flip side. So, like I said, kind of, my dad, he didn't have his dad in his household. He was raised by his mom. So he was in a single parent household. My mom was in a single parent household. And then my dad being younger and I guess being honest, not as mature, there were times where he kind of got railroaded in their relationship because my mom was kind of a type A personality, which Chauncey is. So like I said, just observing those things, I know like, okay, I need to be assertive with this thing because I saw my dad struggle to kind of lead the household in these areas and so on and so forth. But because I saw him, try to put effort, but it wasn't a strong enough effort. Because, we all, man, we want to stake our claim and, mark our territory. But there were times where he probably could have, held it down a little bit firmer than he did. And, me and him have talked about that kind of stuff. So just the wisdom from him, the things I've observed, and now living through it in my own relationship, I kind of understand, what I think I understand what I'm dealing with when I'm dealing with her. And then internally too, when I'm managing, my own shortcomings or things that I may not be the strongest at, because I had, a lot of different examples to kind of pull from. So.
John, you want to go next, or you want me to go ahead and close it out with my part?
You can go ahead, man.
I figured as much. So with me, I'm all in with a daddy's girl, and I would be remiss if I didn't say it's difficult. when that woman's best friend was her dad, and her dad never told her no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in one of those, like, I don't want to say fight or flight kind of homes, like, but it was just like, you either gonna get with it or you gonna get lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is hard in life, and everything ain't gonna be copacetic, right? Everything ain't gonna be rainbows and butterflies, but at the end of the day, either we 10 toes down in this shit or we gonna move around, right? So when you're dealing with somebody who hasn't, her dad is her everything, and of course, he's her best friend, he's giving her everything, it's hard for me to say no. And then that leads to like conversations that have to be had, a misplaced energy, attitudes, you know what I'm saying? And I would say it takes a lot of growth from the other person, understanding, compromise. Those are things that I think me and Drea say to each other. What would you say, babe? 10 times a week? Compromise, understanding, like, we damn near any argument we have, it comes back to that part. Like, like, I'm trying to understand her, she's trying to understand me, but also her idea of what a leading man in a family looks like is a lot like what her dad was to her. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, he found a way to make that shit happen. You know what I'm saying? So in her mind, it's like, nigga, if you gonna lead, like, you need to figure out how to make it happen. Whereas with me, I'm kind of one of those people, like, if it ain't that, then it ain't that. Like, if we ain't got it, we ain't got it. If we're not gonna do it, we're not gonna do it. So.
But see, I think I don't want to cut you off, babe, but I think that's what makes our relationship work. Only because whereas my dad was like that, he made me like that. I don't understand the word no. I don't understand that I can't have. I don't understand that that's not for me. Like, I don't understand that. I'm never going to comprehend that. I think that anything in this world that I want, I can get. If I can't, I'm going to figure out how to get it. That hustler mentality he gave to me. Whereas you're more safely put on the ground. We're fine. And it's nothing wrong with that, but you're more of the logical thinker.
Balance.
It is, and it's a dope ass balance, especially when you think about a girl, because most people think a hustler, you think a guy, you think, oh, he gonna make it happen, he gonna figure it out. But it's completely the opposite. Deshaun is the one that more wants to talk to the kids and understand, well, why did you do that? Me, I don't give a fuck why you did it. I'm beating your ass. It's a complete difference. It is. Like when he said, I get mad when the kids don't text, I literally be like, bro, I will strangle you. You see me texting, where he be like, well, they kids, da 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 da. So it's literally, it's a decent balance. So I don't want you to like downplay it as if, yeah, my dad was this way, so I look for you to be this way, because baby, it's other qualities that you have that makes you completely amazing, that makes you the man that compliments me, because I couldn't deal with another hustler. Me and him would probably be out here trying to out hustle each other. So you compliment me in a way that I need you to compliment me. When it's time for you to figure it out, you figure it out.
That's your boy
when it's
teared
time
up
for you
over
to
here,
fall
G.
back, oh, don't do that. When it's time for you to fall back, you know how to fall back, because some guys don't. Some guys don't know how to let their girl lead and just take it. We have that perfect balance to where in certain situations, Drea, you got this one. All right, you got that. You got the next one. And that's just how we work. So don't ever discredit yourself when it comes to that. Yes. We just have different ways of doing shit.
So it's definitely not a discredit, but speaking to the general question, it's definitely one of those things where the personality types, you have to grow into the personality types. I'm a very one monkey don't stop the show kind of guy, like, two tears in a bucket, fuck it. Those are like terms I live by, whereas I'm not an overthinker. I'm very logical. Like, either you can or you can't. You control the controllables. Me and Nate say that shit, 3-4 times a week? Yes, control the controllables. And I think now she's starting to come around to being like, fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna fucking overthink it. I'm not gonna fucking if it's not meant for me, it's not meant for me in this moment. Don't mean that I'm not gonna get it. I'm just not gonna wreck my brain about having it here and now, right? So I mean, we're bonding and we're meshing and we're making the things work. But living up to her dad's like standard, like the dude was dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he created a dope ass daughter. But at the same time, it's definitely a learning experience, right? is learning how to be with somebody that's not used to hearing no, because I'm used to being very dominant in my relationships, but also she's used to being the matriarch in her family. You know what I'm saying? We're putting together our family. So she got that hustler's mentality, and she's been having to go get it for her and her kids every day of the week. And now I'm coming along and I want to be the head honcho. You know what I'm saying? It's like loosen up them motherfucking reins. I'm right, I'm driving. I'm here now. It's just like you gotta earn that shit though. You know what I'm saying? That's where that trust meter and getting to know somebody comes in. You know what I'm saying? Before you ever gonna allow somebody to lead you, you gotta know that motherfucker know where they're going, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think that's where me and her and her being a daddy's girl, her dad led the way he led, her mom led, dope ass mom too, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I kind of try to take us away from like what our parents were and kind of try to make us put together our own thing. Like we're kind of starting fresh with our own road. And regardless of how your dad treated your mom or what you saw from your dad or your mom, we're totally different individuals. And we're going to create our own fucking path throughout this. And all we could be is a united front for the 4 kids looking at us, So that's what I try to preach. It's more of a logical stance. My energy don't match her energy, but in that regard, we making it work, man. So I'm gonna get off this before I get teary-eyed again.
You already over there said thug tears.
G, one thug tear, G, just one.
Before we wrap, you know what I'm saying? I want to go around the horn real quick because Alex has been really vocal about something, that in all transparency, me and my wife talked about. Right. And, I know you've done couples therapy. Right. So in just that part of it, what's one thing you would share to any couple, not necessarily the people on the call, about conflict resolution in your relationship?
Man, it's communication. Like, I know it sounds cliche and it sounds simple, but sometimes the simplest things are the hardest things. Like,
facts.
Literally just taking a deep breath and like coming to somebody on their level or they coming to you on your level and just trying to talk through something and like talking with respect to each other and not belittling or demeaning or condescending.
Having a pre-thought,
that's what I was saying.
Going into the conversation.
Emotions. Yeah, like that's probably the biggest thing I say come out of like us doing couples therapy.
I mean, even repeating back what you heard, because sometimes what you hear is not really what was said, is how we take it. I think that's probably one of the bigger things that we've realized, really even more so even in the last few weeks, is really just it's the communication and trying to listen to what the other person is truly saying and not how you want it to be perceived. I think that's been really big for us. So
I love it. Jafito.
Listen, they hit it out the park. I definitely, that's where I'm at. I think that's where me and Dre have been over the last, I would say, month. We've had more transparent conversations, and what we were guilty of over the first, like, it wasn't even the first few months, because the first few months was that honeymoon stage, and then this last few months, the months in between was like we keeping each other's receipts, and we was always like, well, you said this, or motherfucker like me, I'll screenshot the text and send it over, petty shit, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it was like, fuck what you thought you heard, fuck what you perceived the conversation to be, listen to what she's saying, you know what I'm saying? And that's gotten us so much further. Like, that was a big argument for me. Like, I don't think you understand what I'm saying, who I am and how I am. I don't think you understand who I am. Once she stepped back and acknowledged that, we kind of been like smooth sailing. Like it's back to that honeymoon stage. At least for me, it is, but it was definitely like, I took the ego out of it, because for a long time in the beginning of the relationship, I couldn't be wrong. Like, you got the game fucked up, like XYZ. No, I took my ego out of it. I took a step back. I expressed to her how I want to be loved and how I want her to communicate to me. She took her time and told me how she needs to be loved and how she wants me to communicate with her. And all we've done is practice that. And the fact that we've just acknowledged that, we've kind of stripped it all down, just went back to the basics. I think now we get so much further with our day-to-day like interactions than we did for that middle part of our relationship. I don't know if they feel the same, but you can go now.
No, I agree. I think in the beginning, because it is the beginning and it is that honeymoon stage, y'all talk all the time, y'all text all the time. So then once you get towards that middle, you kind of fall back a little bit. And somebody is feeling like, okay, what the fuck happened? And then that leads to, well, damn, I gotta work. And then it creates that conflict where we went through that and you have to literally just talk. Communication is literally everything. And the fact that I always bring up to him, we don't live together. So the fact that we don't live together and we do live over 40 minutes away from each other, communication is literally all we have. We both work our ass off during the week, and then we both have our own kids that we got. Cam is in football. My daughter is now in track. We got our own little stuff, and we do show up for the kids when we can to support them. But we had to really, I think we had to this last maybe month or two realize that communication is really all that we have. Like on those days, it may be a week that I don't even see him. Does it hurt? Fuck yeah. But I don't get to see you. So when I don't get to see you, hey, we got iPhones, FaceTime. Let me look at you. Let me see what's going on. So where it may feel like, damn, you know, I'm just asleep. And man, answer the fucking phone and turn on the fucking light. Let me look at you. Like I ain't seen your ass in a week. Like it ain't gonna hurt you.
I'm butt ass and sweaty over here, girl. Let me.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Go
just
get
so
a towel.
You know, like me and this nigga we was damn near naked face.
Pause, G.
What?
I mean, look. So
What?
like, if he could do it with me, he could do it with you.
Exactly.
Niggas don't wear shirts around here, G. Fat nigga activity. Fat nigga activity.
Better have.
Go ahead, Johnson.
Got conflict resolution, bro.
Hold on. Chauncey got something to say before John shoot his shot.
I was gonna say to Drea's point too, right? Like, because you were saying how you live about 40 minutes away and sometimes it's hard. I will say too, we live in the same house. And like again, our counselor was like, when do you guys communicate? You know, between running the kids around and doing random things for ourselves or whatever the case may be, there's times where it's not where it needs to be. So my point to that is really like it's going to be ongoing, you know, and it's a work in progress. And sometimes when I thought we were doing okay, but we're not. We're missing each other in different aspects, not the physical part, but the mental, the emotional part sometimes. There's a disconnect every once in a while. And I feel like that's always ongoing. You always have to work on it.
And to piggyback off what Chauncey's saying, like y'all probably make time to communicate because there's that distance and that separation where we're in the house together, that can fall by the wayside quickly. Like, okay, I'm working.
Definitely
I got this going on. I seen her. I know she good. So let me keep going. And then
y'all ain't giving me no hope right now.
No, I'm being honest though. This is what it is.
Y'all ain't giving me no hope. Like if we move in, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna help.
No.
Coffee over here with the Birdman hands, like football season around the corner, baby.
Don't take it like
I be like telling Nate, like I'm like, I miss you. Like
I
miss you.
She say that shit all the damn time.
Roof. We work in the same house. We are parenting the same kids, and life is lifing. Mm-hmm. And it's like at the end of the day, when things have calmed down, I'm like, damn, I miss my husband. Mm-hmm. Like I want to be up under you. I want to
be in your skin.
Yes. And then it's just like, it's really like sometimes there is no time for communication. It's just we lifing. You know what I'm saying? We're doing what we need to do, but it's important at the end of the day to just make time.
I want to say this real quick, right? Because everybody brought up communication. I think it's important that everybody understands how to communicate with each other, right? Mm-hmm. Because I mean, I find myself at times when we're working through a conflict or anything like that, making sure that I'm saying the right thing so she can interpret the right way. You know, and it may be times where I may not be able to share my thoughts in a well thought out, cohesive way. You know, that way she'll be able to digest it and vice versa, right? So just understanding how to communicate, understanding that, you know, you may not have the right words at the moment. you know, or you may need to reword it. You may need to ask clarifying questions to make sure that you understand exactly where, you know, because again, the worst thing that could happen is for us to be trying to work through something and you take something I say out and I'm not saying that, or you try to assume what I'm talking about.
But not to cut you off, but this brings me back to what Chauncey said, the pre-thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like I say, because I know that's what you think. Like I know that's what you're thinking of me. We've had this discussion before. Like you need to take that out of take away the preconceived notions. Like for a lot of people, that is like the determining factor for how they perceive things. Yeah, it really is. So
definitely.
I'm gonna give y'all one more jewel from the counselor, because she called me and Chauncey on this. We're very all or nothing. So we would say she always, or I never, or whatever the case.
You always do this. You always respond like this. You know, like that's what he means by always.
Right. And she said, y'all gotta stop doing that to each other, because you're not giving the other person the opportunity to, you know, show you what's actually going on, because you always got these preconceived notions about your partner, because you've been with him for so long. You just think, okay,
you know him,
right?
You know what's gonna come out of his mouth,
but you really don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
we had to stop that. We have
for the free advice from your therapist.
We actually have to stop and say, hold on. I'll say, if I say, will you all, and I'll be like, hold on, I'm sorry. And I'll change the wording to what I'm trying to say, but it makes a difference.
I see the toxic wheels turning in John's head. John got some shit that he wants to say.
John was just asleep 10 minutes ago, Jay.
Nah, man. I feel like if I say something, it's
nigga, you already sleeping on the couch, and nigga, you might as well go for the gusto.
Nah, because
I'm gonna put the battery in your back, nigga.
I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, that like, you know, communicating this way and that way and all of the other stuff, it all sounds good, but sometimes you gotta just say what needs to be said, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, ideally, under ideal circumstances, you do want to communicate a certain kind of way, but like you know, like I said, sometimes you just gotta say what gotta be said.
You just so anti. Get it together.
I'm not.
This motherfucker said sometimes you just gotta pull a band-aid off. Sometimes you just gotta give it to him straight.
I'm just saying, like,
John, does that always work for you?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, like in the moment or in general? Like, look.
Yeah, are you always giving your wife like the straight, like no nonsense? How does that work?
No, I said under ideal circumstances, I want to meet her at her level, but she, at the same token, when that doesn't happen, you can't just be dismissive or anything like that, because like I said, sometimes you got to say what got to be said. If I hear somebody fucking breaking my door and she over there yapping on the phone and I'm like, yo, quiet. And then if I say, excuse my French, shut the fuck up, it's not that I'm trying to be like disrespectful, but at a certain point, if she's not responding and she doesn't understand kind of where I'm coming from, then she might miss it, and we might both, you know, go down a path we don't want to go down. And that goes both ways too.
No, John.
Like, listen, unpack it.
No, there's nothing to unpack. Look, what I'm saying is, ideally, you want to communicate at a certain, you know, wavelength, but it doesn't always happen.
Conflict resolution that we're talking about.
That I know.
So, like, you believe in the direct approach.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I mean, that's the best way, direct. That's the way I was raised by 2 Marines. That's how I got it. So that's kind of how.
But we're not saying not be direct. It's just tailoring your communication so it can be received. This is basic. I mean, I got a comms degree. This is all shit that I learned in college that now applies in my relationship as well.
What Alex is talking about is exactly what I was talking about not just delivering your message, but the other party receiving the message.
Mm-hmm.
And getting everything that you want. Because again, I know I have to tailor my message to my wife in a specific way that she can digest it. Because again, we're still learning, like we're almost 20 years in, still learning how to communicate with each other.
It's one thing to feel fulfilled because I delivered the message I wanted to,
right?
Versus I know she received what I wanted to deliver to her. That's a totally different feeling.
But at the same time,
no, but okay, I'll give y'all an example that's outside.
John is saying that, you know, his level of communication was developed by two no nonsense direct Marines. So
no, but okay,
but I'm just saying, and I'm not just saying this to shoot you some bail, but that matters. Like if you grew up in a hardened, like where it was like direct, like get your ass in there and wash them dishes, or get your ass in there and walk that dog.
That's definitely how both my parents.
But I'm saying, but if that's how you was raised and that's how you communicate, then maybe it's a step where you need to take a step back and I don't want just to come off the wrong way, but where although it's the direct way to.
Chauncey asked the right question. She asked, does it work for him and his wife? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Most of the time, but what I'll say is this: look, like I said, under ideal circumstances, it is my objective.
It's never ideal circumstances, though, John.
But no, it is. You can't say it's
never gonna have a conflict and get the ideal in the ideal response in that moment.
Because I mean, honestly, if my emotions are running too high, I'm likely to just not even address it right then and there. I don't have a clear head. So
I don't think it's a fair conversation for John.
It's not without him. That's what I've been saying. So I'm gonna tell you this: if I told Dre to shut the fuck up, I'm locking up all the guns.
No, so listen.
So I don't wake up. So I don't wake up like Ghost and Tariq. Like wake up, little nigga.
Like an example that I witnessed as a child. Right. We were on a road trip. This is, you know, my parents are driving. I think my mom was driving. So my dad was tired. Right. This racist cop pulls us over in like North Carolina. She's going back and forth. My pops is saying, "Hey, chill." You know, he's trying to explain, you know, himself to her. She's not listening. Guess what ends up happening? She's in cuffs. She's in the jail in a place that she ain't got no place being. And now my dad, who literally tried to defuse the situation, was not received in that moment, right? Is now riding around rural North Carolina with 4 black kids trying to get his wife out of a situation that she shouldn't be in, right? So, you know, if you're talking about like a conflict that necessarily is between just me and my wife, it's like a interpersonal, like kind of, you know, marriage couples thing. Right. I would never speak to her in that manner, but there are going to be conflicts that you experience as a couple that aren't necessarily like that. And sometimes you just got to say what it is and you can explain it after the fact. Otherwise the shit can kind of snowball into something else.
Did your dad get to the point where he was like, Deborah, shut the fuck up?
Not in that moment, but I'll tell you that in other, I have definitely,
because maybe that's what needed to happen. So she wouldn't have ended up locked up. I think that's what John's trying to say. Like, if he'd have been more assertive in that moment, maybe that all that other shit that happened wouldn't have went down the way it did. Which I could feel that.
Tell me to shut the fuck up last year at my kid's football game because I almost got locked up.
I'm just saying. So it's not. No, if you know. If she served me my grits cold, I'm not gonna tell her to shut the fuck up. That's ridiculous. All right. Like I would never disrespect
I might slap that shit off the table though.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's absolutely ridiculous. But there may be a conflict that the two of you are experiencing together where she kind of, you know, wants to assert the way she does things and it just may not work out. And just like you said, you might be at the football game acting an ass and you might need to hear something stern to get you back down to your level. So it's not one-sided. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is.
Unless that Jack Daniels is flowing and you know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't be drinking at your kid's game anyway.
Domestic 187. Homegirl get violent.
I have a question for you, John. Is your wife is she as direct as you?
Sometimes worse.
I mean, she did tell this nigga he looked like a coon.
Yeah. Oh man, she said I was voting Republican.
John has over there in an abusive relationship, and we don't even know. We calling him toxic.
John over there got his head down, his shirt buttoned up to the top. He trying to cover up his
oh man. No,
hey, man. I think this is a good spot to wrap it though, man. You know, unless the ladies got anything more, any other gems y'all want to share with us, man. Y'all got anything else for us tonight?
I just want to say I love the pod. I'm probably one of y'all biggest fans. I love that this is an outlet for my husband and his good friends. And I love it. I enjoy it. I look forward to it every week. And thanks for having us. And I'm here whenever y'all want to do it again.
Chauncey?
I second that. I usually listen from like the top of the stairs.
She out here ear hustling.
You be eavesdropping?
Yeah, because I think you guys are funny. I think some of the conversations are wild, but I always laugh. I usually listen when I'm like out get my nails done or something. I'll just sit and listen to what you guys have to say, and it's funny. It's a great show, and I'm glad it only took us a year to get on, but that's okay.
Alex,
hopefully we'll be back.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. I've been cheerleading, getting them on from jump.
Yeah,
Dre, you want to bring
I said
him
we
home?
need to have a couple show for Valentine's. That was almost a year ago.
that's a fact. He did say that. John vetoed that shit immediately.
I have never vetoed anything. I simply voiced my vote. All right.
You was the reason. You was the reason why it took us this long to get up on here.
No, John is telling you he's always going to vote no.
This much longer the next time.
John is always going to vote no. With John,
it's not trying to listen to
the show.
She does listen to the show, but it's really not personal. I feel like this space was designed for the folks that are typically in it. And as they'll tell you, I'm not really big on any guests. So it's not just y'all.
He does veto every guest.
But I pretty much feel like this is about any guest. Also, what I told Al when he first brought this up was I didn't want like no origin stories and shit like that. And we kind of got that. We was going kind of in that direction, man.
I still want to know what happened to the altar. Dre, go ahead, bring us home.
I don't know what to say. I'm high. I'm sleepy. Y'all keep doing y'all shit. I mean, y'all make me laugh. Y'all get me through my Friday. John with his overly toxic ass. Alex.
Yes.
Alex and I don't know what the fuck y'all be having going on. Alex be talking about one thing, then start talking about something else. I'll be a little lost, but I come back together. Nate barely be answering half the time. He straddles the fence and then I got the loud mouth over there with the big face all in the camera, but I love him. So y'all keep doing y'all shit. I mean,
hey, she got us picked.
You guys got a good blend. It's a good blend.
It is. It's definitely a good blend. Y'all compliment each other really well, for real. And I know that this gonna blow up. It's gonna be bigger than y'all think it is. So just keep pushing, keep doing y'all shit. Y'all got it.
Since she went ahead and put that in the atmosphere, it ain't shit that we gotta say, man. It's been a hostile takeover. Alex, take us on, man. On that note,
holla. Peace.